A number of financial variables are on the move in 2018, and most obviously I would say higher rates, higher oil, in the US case a stronger dollar, and that combination is tightening financial conditions to some extent. And so to begin with, let's acknowledge those moves, and in particular the increase in rates we've seen right around the world. This is imposing something of a drag on growth. We still think growth can be quite good this year globally. We look for a little bit less next year as some of these effects start to bite. So the first answer is it is starting to slow down growth in many places, including in Canada. But then maybe this does take a particular relevance for Canada in the sense that Canada is notorious for a very high level of household debt as an example. And so those higher rates bite a little bit more than they might elsewhere. And so when we think about Canada, we do see a housing market that's wobbling a little bit more than we've seen in the past. Part of that is the rising rates equals rising mortgage rates story, and so that's starting to show up in the data fairly clearly. The other part of the housing story is one in which the rules are being changed in the mortgage market to make it harder to get a mortgage, and so that combination does seem to be sending resale activity down. We think there's a fair chance the housing market goes in a more sideways direction in Canada in the future, as opposed to the up and up that's been the dominant theme for the last decade. And when you tack on top some competitiveness concerns in Canada as well, tax differentials versus the US, environmental rules, and the list goes on, we do think the Canadian economy is in a situation where it may find itself underperforming, and to circle back around to the original issue, at least in part because interest rates have been rising.